Good afternoon, Grinders. This is your NFL SimLabs analysis for Thursday, October 30th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD, BlenderHD. If you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I like the thummy thumbs. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. Remember, we got a pre-lock show at 7:30 p.m. tonight on the channel with the picks, the plays, all the inactives, any updates, anything that's going on tonight for Thursday night football. It is the Ravens at the Dolphins, and it's a pretty hefty total with 51.5, but the Ravens are actually the favored team. They're a 7.5-point favorite on the road to the Dolphins. Baltimore with a 29.5 implied team total. Miami with a 22-point implied team total. Obviously, we're getting Lamar Jackson back tonight for the Ravens, and that's probably the reason for the big spread here. Lamar Jackson 11.8K on DraftKings, and we got Devon Achane at 11.4K, Derrick Henry 11K, Jalen Waddle 10.4K, Tua Tagovailoa 10K. We got a lot of expensive players today. 9,400 for Zay Flowers. Even 6,400. It goes from 9,400 for Zay Flowers, then 6,400 for Rashad Bateman, and then we start getting down to some cheaper people. And we do have some cheap people that project decently well enough that you could play them. I mean, we got even on the lowest end, even someone like Keaton Mitchell at 1,400, Isaiah Likely, 2,000, Tanner Connor, 2,800, even like Westbrook Akine, he's projected for almost 6 points. Then we got the defenses and the kickers and guys like Hopkins and Justice Hill and Ollie Gordon. Malik Washington's probably going to be a little bit the most popular and the cheapest bunch, probably 4,800. Mark Andrews, 5K. There are options here. I'm not sure how many of the top players you're going to necessarily even play in your lineup from a projection standpoint. Lamar Jackson projects number one. Between Achane and Henry, they're close. And then between Waddle, Tua, and Zay Flowers, they're pretty close. But our sims show a lot more like 4-2 lineups, 4 Ravens, 2 Dolphins type lineups, or even 5-1, 5 Ravens, 1 Dolphin type lineups. So I think it's much more likely that that you'll be playing more like Lamar and Henry together, or Lamar, Henry, and Flowers together, rather than playing multiple Dolphins. But if you play multiple Dolphins, I think that would be a more contrarian way. I mean, we'll do some builds on SimLabs just to see, but just getting the lay of the land. Our optimal, if I just put in our projections into lineup HQ, like our optimal still has Lamar Jackson and the captain with Likely, Andrews, Malik Washington, Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry. So it has a 5-1 lineup with Malik Washington 4,800 being the only Dolphin. Is that type of lineup going to be popular? Probably, even with 2 tight ends in the lineup, right? Andrews and Likely. But you get Andrews, Likely, Flowers, Henry, Jackson. I mean, you outside of like Rashad Bateman or DeAndre Hopkins or something, you pretty much get like all the Ravens touchdowns, and they're projected to score 4+ touchdowns today, so that's pretty good. But yeah, Lamar Jackson captains are going to be obviously the most popular. Let's go into SimLabs, put in 150 large field contest. We're trying to win the big one, right? The big, the 500,000 to first place. Even though it's very hard to get a unique lineup in showdown contests, especially these days. But something that less than 10 dupes, less than 5 dupes if possible. That's what we're looking for. So medium result range, large field contest. Let's put 150 and see what shows up the most. And then we'll kind of get granular from there. But I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of Lamar Jackson captain lineups. A lot of Lamar Jackson. And then maybe Achane number 2. Henry may not come up as much, but let's see. And we also there's probably be a lot of lineups that you could play that have cheaper captains. Like here's a Mark Andrews captain lineup. So Andrews, Jackson, Henry, Tua, Washington, Baltimore defense. 900 remaining. Like, this isn't a bad lineup. My problem always when it comes to cheaper captains. So playing Malik Washington the captain, anyone under Andrews, right? Playing a 5K captain or below, is that you could jam in a lot of the higher projected players in those types of lineups. The thing is, everyone else can also. So, like, if you're going to play a lineup that, plays Isaiah Likely in the captain spot at 2K, like, you could get everyone you want. I mean, you could just jam in 5 guys, the 5 of the 10K plus guys, maybe not 5 of them, but you know what I'm talking about. Spend almost all your salary, and you feel comfortable. The thing is that it's going to be, even if Isaiah Likely is 1% owned in the captain spot, you go 1% owned captain, I'm good. Yeah. 1% owned, let's say there's 100,000 entries in the contest. So what's 1% of 100,000? Okay. What's 1%? 1,000. 1,000 lineups. So you're competing now with another 1,000 lineups. But those 1,000 lineups, like half of them look like yours. Right? Because everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm a 2K captain and I can just jam in everyone. So if you spend all your salary and do that, actually you end up with a lineup that's duped 100 times, even with a 1% owned captain. Now, if you're going to play a 1% owned captain and then still leave 3,000 on the table, 4,000 on the table, now that's a different story. Now your lineup's less likely to be duped. Now you may only be sharing first place with 2, 3, 4 people. That's fine, rather than 100, 150 people, even though you're using a 1% owned captain. So just be aware of that. You play those types of lineups. But we're going to take a look at the exposures here. And let's take a look at captain. Actually, we get a lot more. This is a lot more Devon Achane captain, Derrick Henry captain. Actually, less Lamar captain than I expected. You get these Malik Washington captain lineups. I mean, what do they look like? Malik Washington the captain, Lamar Jackson, Henry, Flowers, Loop, and Patterson. 0 remaining. I mean, can this hit? Sure. It's a little counterintuitive. You don't need Malik Washington to go nuts. But if he goes like 6 for 60 with a touchdown, and then everyone else is kind of like Lamar, Henry, and Flowers, like all score a touchdown, all score around, 15 points. Like this could be a winning lineup with some field goals. I mean, yeah, it's a weird outcomes that show up with Malik Washington, the captain, without Tua. Because you would think that you play Malik Washington instead of playing Henry, you play Tua, or instead of playing Lamar, you play Tua there. But SimLabs raced this pretty damn well. Henry, not as many Lamar Jackson lineups as a captain as I expected up here, right? A lot more spread out. So let's take, we could do in SimLabs, we could filter out these lineups. So let's say, what do these Lamar Jackson captain lineups do look like? Okay. We get some low-rated ones down here, but they're all pretty good. But Lamar, Tua, Flowers, Washington, Baltimore defense, Justice Hill. That's the first one that's up here, which it's doable. There's nothing wrong with this. Lamar, Flowers, Baltimore defense, Isaiah Likely, Malik Washington, Devon Achane, 700 remaining in salary. This is fine also. The thing about having Lamar Jackson in the captain spot is that, Lamar could score in multiple ways. But look, the Ravens can score for touchdowns, and Lamar Jackson can have all 4 of them. Could just rush in for touchdowns. Or he rushes in 3 and throws for 1. Right? I think that the 2 players that are less correlated are Lamar and Derrick Henry, as far as ceiling is concerned. Right? If we take a look, do we have Henry in any of these Lamar Jackson captain lineups? Like, here's Lamar, no Henry. Lamar, no Henry. No Henry there. Okay, here's a Henry one. And Keaton Mitchell. This is different. Lamar Jackson, Devon Achane, Henry Andrews, Westbrook-Akine, Keaton Mitchell. Not something that I would necessarily, to flock to, but SimLabs races pretty highly. I mean, 80.57 SimLabs rating is pretty damn good for Showdown. Right? It projects actually pretty damn good. 85.63 projection in comparison to some of these other lineups then it's not as high as, it's not 90, right? You don't want to play the highest projected lineups, and then you're going to be duped 700 times. But this is what I use SimLabs for, to do research lineups. I'm going to play 3 lineups tonight, so I'm going to choose 3 of these. What I'm going to do is more likely go through and go, okay, I'm going to play 1 Lamar Jackson captain lineup. I'm going to play 1 HN captain lineup and pick ones from there. Because we could take off this filter, right? We could look at other lineups, right? Or we could go into settings. Instead of building 150, I just want to build 20. I just want to look at 20 lineups. And I want to look at lineups that, let's say, I'm going to play Lamar in the flex. I'm going to lock in Lamar in the flex. I'm going to exclude Derrick Henry. I'm excluding Derrick Henry. And, taking a look at the SimLabs dashboard, Davon Achane and the captain is probably going to be less owned, under-owned. And I know that the Ravens defense has gotten a little bit healthier. They're still not that great of a defense. So I'm not scared of playing Dolphins today. The Dolphins still have a 22-point implied team total. So let's say I want to Achane and the captain. Let's say I want to look at what do these lineups look like, right? So I want to play Achane and the captain with Lamar Jackson in the flex, but no Derrick Henry. Probably wouldn't be able to afford him anyway, but let's see. There's 20 lineups. What do they look like for a large field contest? Medium results range. It doesn't matter the results range once I start locking players in. So I want to see what these lineups look like with this configuration. I'm making the executive decision. You can make one yourself. So here we go. Here's number one. We've got a bunch of decently rated ones, right? Maybe not the bottom ones, but HN and the captain. HN, Malik Washington. Yeah, this is going to be a chalky lineup. Lamar, Flowers, Baltimore defense, Isaiah Likely with HN and Malik Washington. Right? Because you don't have to play Tua in these lineups with HN in the captain spot. It's HN Miami defense. Lamar, Flowers, Baltimore defense, Justice Hill. 700 remaining, 900 remaining, 500, 1,500 remaining. And I like looking at the lineups that leave a decent amount of salary on the table because I know they're going to be less duplicated. But all these lineups are they double defense lineups. I don't know how popular the defenses are going to necessarily be today. I think the kickers will be more owned than the defenses, even though the defenses are cheap. Ravens defense is 4K. Dolphins defense is 3,400. The kickers are both 5K, right? Loop's 5,400 and Patterson's 5,200. With a 51.5 implied team total, people will be like, oh, why am I going to play the defenses? Remember, defenses score primarily. Defense ceiling comes from like block kicks and fumble recoveries and pick sixes and stuff like that. There's no reason but Tua. We see Tua throw pick six every other game. It's not like Lamar Jackson doesn't every once in a while fumble the ball or something. Stuff happens. But I don't mind these lineups. Right? Devon Achane, Lamar, Flowers, Baltimore defense, Miami defense, Tanner Connor. 1,500 remaining. These are large field lineups we're looking at. Would I be playing this in a $100 single entry contest with 400 players? No, probably not. The Charlie Kolar lineup. Another Isaiah Likely lineup. These lineups aren't bad with 1,300 remaining with HN and the captain, Patterson, Westbrook, Akine, Jackson, Flowers, Likely. This is fine. Absolutely fine with HN and the captain. So what I'll do on the phone later today, I'll go through and go, okay, I like this configuration. I'm going to choose one lineup in this configuration. And then I may go to a different configuration and go, what if they want to play Henry and the captain? So how about Henry and the captain? I'm going to exclude Lamar in the flex, right? And what do these lineups look like? Henry captain, no Lamar. I'm assuming we can get Dolphins, more Tua HN combinations, but I could look and see what does this configuration look like, and what is the rest of it? The main thing is what does the rest of the lineup look like? So here we go. They're less than these are in the 80s. So these SimLabs ratings are a little bit lower than HN captain lineups. So we get Henry, HN, Tua, Andrews, Washington, Likely. 300 remaining. But you can see here on the projection, they project lower than the other ones. So from a cash rate, probably going to be not as good. And these configuration lineups are probably not great for single entry contests, smaller field type of stuff. So Henry and the captain with Waddle, Tua, Washington, Westbrook, Akine, Mark Andrews. I mean, it's doable. I consider this more of a large field lineup. You want Derrick Henry to basically get 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then the Dolphins having to play catch up for the rest of the game and just rack up stats like that. Not as appealing. These Henry captain lineups don't look as appealing. I mean, just simply from projection standpoint. Is another Henry lineup, but you're going to play. If you're playing Henry and the captain, you're probably going to be playing a lot more Dolphins in the flex. So obviously, I don't have to exclude Lamar Jackson in these lineups, but playing Henry and the captain and Lamar Jackson in the flex, you're going to run into a lot of duplication problems because, I mean, 2 of the highest priced players on the same team, right? A lot of people today are going to be playing 5-1 and 4-2 lineups. It is the most likely to be optimal, but just because it's the most likely, it's most likely in comparison to what the field is going to own them at. And that's why I like using SimLabs. The SimLabs will just rate those lineups. We'll tell you. Remember, SimLabs is available not just for Showdown, also for the main slates, right? We see here, right? DraftKings Showdown. We got FanDuel AnyFlex. We got DraftKings. Here's the main slate, the early only slate. You got that for other NBA. You go to NBA today. MLB. Well, MLB is I mean, we got the World Series. We got 1 or 2 games left. PGA. We got it for everything, right? That's part of our new SimLabs Plus package. Used to be called the Combo Light package. I used to talk about all the time, but now it's called SimLabs Plus, right? You get SimLabs Plus. It's self-explanatory. SimLabs Plus. You get full access to SimLabs for the 4 major sports: NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA. Single lineup HQ access to our research tools like Plate IQ, Court IQ, Gridiron IQ, Weather Edge, all of our premium written content, our write-ups and everything. I mean, I think you get the app on. I think you get SimLabs the app on the phone as well. Or maybe not. Maybe you only get that with the Combo Pro. But I mean, I use it on the phone. We have a dedicated SimLabs app on the phone. But the SimLabs Plus package, you see here, very cheap monthly cost. I mean, you could also do it for 6 or 12 months or 3 days or whatever right here. Combo Pro gets you everything. It's pretty much everything on the site. So go check that out. Click on the link in the description for more information on that. But it's free. Hitting that thumbs up button. Give me those thumbs on your way out the door. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to always know when we go live. We got pre-lock show 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Thursday Night Football. Ravens at Dolphins. And I'll see you next time for another SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.